Well, all I can think of is what my partner, Peter, had told me all along, which was when we had the trailer out and the poster's up and we pulled back and hit the pause button, I was pretty devastated. And all he said to me was, just chill. The world's got it, God's got it, and it's going to come out when it needs to come out, when the world is ready for it. And that is now.
Yeah, what he said. How do you feel? No, legitimately. I mean, we shot it in 2020. We thought this thing was going to come out. How many of you saw the movie Unbreakable Boy by chance? A couple people. You're my favorite. It's a really good movie. If you ever get a chance to see it. But it came out in Christmas of 21, and in February of 22, this movie was already on trailers for that movie, and we were like, all right, here we go. And when Scott was saying, it was like, we're almost there, and then it all got pulled back. But it was absolutely God's timing that it is right now. So, amen.
Well, I know something about American Underdog. My dad noticed this in the movie. So in the movie, there's like I think John kind of mentioned something in the movie about a movie. In American Underdog, there's like an Easter egg, I think, from Unbreakable Boy. My dad said something about it in the car one time. But I don't remember what it was. I have a good memory though.
Yeah, exactly.
They mentioned something like, they just kind of like inspirational a little bit. I swear Dad said something like this. And there was like it was like an Easter egg from our movie. And
I'm sure. We should talk to John about that.
like I think it was a quote or something.
This is Austin, everybody. It's very sweet for this film to come like this, like fine wine, and it's been on the shelf for a little bit better as it aged, and now we're throwing it over to you guys. And I told Scott, I think it was always supposed to come out when the world needed it, and no time like right now. I feel like the world really needs an inspirational, beautiful story. And so I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys spread the word, that you get this infectious feeling that you want to just pass on to everybody. Don't be surprised when you finish filming, you just want to hug your neighbor. It's okay here, because there's this much love in there. So enjoy it.
The behind-the-scenes answer to this was when American Underdog came out, there was a little segment of the coronavirus called Omicron.
We don't want to talk about that.
And so we did not want this film to be subjected to whatever that was. And so we collectively made the decision, this film is too special, it's too important, we're going to hold on to it. And Lionsgate, our incredible partners, agreed. And so you guys, after tonight, you'll realize why we held on to it, so that you could experience it in its full glory, because their story is extraordinary.
Yeah, start on that way, and then we'll come back.
The next question is for you, Zach. You recently shared that you're about to become a first-time dad.
I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Does that give you a different feeling now when you watch The Unbreakable Boy, along with getting back together with Scott and Austin and reconnecting?
Yeah, I mean, I think that every role as actors that we get to play, it's one of the coolest things about being an actor is that it forces you to be a more empathetic person with every role that you take. Your job is literally to walk a mile or many miles in that person's shoes. And I think that I got to learn a lot about that walking in Scott's shoes and getting to interact with young Jacob, who portrayed Austin so well. And so I think that my empathy as a father, even though I wasn't a father at the time, definitely deepened in that moment. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this film now again. I haven't seen the film since I've known that I'm going to be a father. So I think it'll be really powerful. Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yes, of course you can always say something. The movie's about you.
What was I going to say now? I was going to say, I'm glad everyone's here, and that everyone needs to always dream big and never give up on the dreams. Like, if you want to become a chef or a voice actor, never give up unless you're not good at it. Just try.
Okay.
It's true. It's true.
By the way,
But only with chefs and voice actors, by the way. Everything else is fair game.
By the
So
way,
the next
I can never
question-
tell a lie, FY. I can't keep a straight face, FY.
That's also true.
And I'd like to tell the truth all the time.
Thank you. Next question is for Peter. Zach's here with his real-life counterpart, Scott. Was there a real preacher Rick, and did you get a chance to meet him?
I believe there was a preacher, Rick, yeah. He wasn't named Rick, right? But there was a preacher that it was based on, so yes. I never got to meet him. I always like the name Preacher Rick, because I like a rap name. I'm Preacher Rick. Yeah, I mean, I kind of functioned as more as like I kind of met Scott, found the book. I was able to shepherd it, to helping me get it made into Kingdom story, and then there was this fun role of Preacher Rick, and I was like, oh, let me jump in and play this because I can't let Zach have all the fun.
So Scott, for you, it's not very likely that anyone in this room is going to have a story of their life put on the big screen, and I applaud you so much with how vulnerable and real and authentic that whole story is of yours. What is that like? What is this experience like? And you're making me cry just looking at you.
It's only just the last week, 10 days, that it's really become somewhat emotional for me, because obviously, sharing my life and opening up and being vulnerable, as people say and whatnot, I kind of let that genie out of the bottle 15 years ago. And, Teresa and Austin can't say a whole lot about that. I think Logan, might have a different perspective, because he's a much more of a private person than I am. But it's all, I tend to rely on my wife as well, but also Peter, as such a dear friend now, in that he originally told me that your story's going to change the world. It's going to change lives. And I never fully could wrap my brain around that until it took a long, long time. But especially seeing these recent screenings with like grown men getting emotional, hugging us and telling, that's me, that was me. And that's what I want this movie to do to all people.
So this is for all of you that had a chance to work with the wonderful Jacob Laval, who's not with us tonight. I mean, what was it like working with him? Just his delivery of Jack Nicholson's "A Few Good Men" monologue alone, you were in for such a treat with that. Tell us about working with him. What a wonderful young man.
Well, we spent so much time with John Gunn, the writer-director, and Teresa calls him the maestro. He's just a genius, and his screenplay was so insanely good. And it took forever to find Jacob, because we got to see a lot of auditions and things like that. And when I first met Jacob, I thought he was autistic, and he's not. And just the idiosyncrasies and the things that he does it's just remarkable. And I think that it was extremely important, because
He has curly hair like me.
portraying autism it's a very personal and touchy and
Zach
important
has
thing
hair
to
like
do.
that,
So.
In case you missed it, Austin wanted everybody to know that I have hair, but Scott doesn't. And I think that's important to point
One
out,
last thing to say.
in case you missed that.
Jester hat.
I think so.
I have something to say about the Jester hat.
Okay, what do you want to say about the
So,
Jester hat?
Anyone that knows me, that Jester hats are really cool, and everyone knows, like, if you know this is a thing with me. Jester hat means like Superman means hope, and God means hope. I think the Jester hat is a symbol, like, if we all wear something that's goofy, don't let someone tell you what to wear, because you think that you're gonna get made fun of. Just don't listen to the naysayers or the bullies. Always speak for yourself, and always, like, if you need help, you ask someone, but don't ask someone that's gonna bully you, unless you're gonna try to help the bully become a better person and change. But always ask, like, your mom and dad, or even your close friends that are great people, like Tyler and Allison, and Logan, of course, and mom and dad, and Zach and Peter, and everyone that's nice. But last thing you know is, anyone that wears a Jester hat, the chicks dig the Jester hat.
It's true, you're gonna find out in the movie.
I've always thought that.
But just really quickly, I'll just say a few words about Jacob, and then I'll hand it to Peter. But yeah, he's a really special young talent, and this is a very special role and a unique one to be able to find a young actor to be able to pull it off. And he was fantastic. He's a really, really sweet kid, And I'm just really grateful that we were able to find him. Peter?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say better than that. Jacob Levi, you'll see it. You'll feel it. I have a question, a quick one, quick answer. What's it like seeing somebody portray you?
I think it's pretty cool, actually, pretty awesome and gnarly and bodacious.
Yes.
Like the Ninja Turtles say,
Yeah.
cowabunga, and it's just inspiring that Jacob would play someone like me, and that anyone that wants to play me can, anyone wants to play me in a TV show or like maybe like a cartoon or an animation show. I'm down with anyone playing me. It doesn't matter who it is.
Well, let's be picky. We don't want anybody playing.
I think Zach would be cool to play me, but like if you got my voice right.
If I got your voice right.
Yeah, like, sound like
Yeah.
Kevin.
I'll work on it.
Yeah, John Gunn and I, when we were casting this movie,
I'm not a picky movie guy.
we sat and watched hundreds of auditions for Little Boys Play Austin. And we looked at each other and said, if we don't find the right one, I'm not sure we can make this movie. And when Jacob's audition came in, I don't know if I've ever had this happen in my 30 years of doing this. I mean, you almost brought tears to our eyes because we knew we had a movie at that moment. And his performance is so extraordinary. I don't know if I've seen a performance like it in any movie in a long time. And so you guys are in for a treat. You really are. This kid is super special. He's an incredible, talented performer. And we were honored just to be able to work with him.
So Peter, you're not just in the movie, you played a crucial part in getting made as a producer. So it all started, I understand, with Scott walking into a pharmacy that was owned by your brother-in-law?
Sounds like a joke. So Scott walked into a bar.
The pharmacy. The green man.
Yeah, I'll tell the quick version because I know you guys want to watch this movie, Billy's. So Scott walked into a pharmacy that my brother-in-law owned in New York City, and then they chatted up. He told me that he wrote this book, and then my brother-in-law called me and said, "Hey Peter, this guy wrote this book. You should make it into a movie." Which, at that time, for everybody who wants to make a story into a movie, it's really hard to make something into a movie. But I read the book, and it was so beautiful, and then I shortly later met Scott and formed a friendship, and was able to shepherd into this guy's hands who really got it, understood it, and it was a blessing to have a partner like them, and just kind of all come together with Zach being the cherry on top, and Jacob Levi, and then here we are. So what a beautiful journey that the universe sent us on, and a lot of twists and turns, but we got it done, and now it's in your hands. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Can I say something about Peter? Yeah. So if you guys want to know, Peter is the coolest guy ever, and he's also a vampire. So if you only comes out at night.
He doesn't age, are we right? He's a vampire, he doesn't
So you
age.
still gotta watch the movies because you don't know what happens in the final battle when something happens to his dad. So, but it's not how it happened in the books though. The scene in the book.
What he's trying to say is, if you ever saw Twilight, like Twilight, you're gonna love the Unbreakable Boy.
I mean, he sparkles, man.
He does sparkle. But I am the cherry.
So Zach, there are some just incredible moments in the film that made us all laugh, made us all cry. Talk about the emotional journey of telling this incredible story of a man sitting next to you.
Well, we talked about it a little bit before, but Scott allowed himself to be very vulnerable. I think vulnerability, by the way, is a wonderful superpower. I think the more we recognize that when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, particularly as men, I think women, you guys have had a slightly better community of femininity that allows for vulnerability, and in masculinity, we've had this thing like, I don't want to cry. Well, all the guys in here, I hope you brought some Kleenex, because this is one of those movies that's really going to hit you in the feels, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing that we cry. It's a good thing to be vulnerable, and that vulnerability translates into the movie. And what I loved about this film when I read the script was, this is not just feel-good rainbows and butterflies and that kind of thing. There's a lot of those moments in the film that are very heartwarming, incredibly heartwarming, but none of that pays off unless you go through the grit and the darkness and the things that you went through and that Teresa went through and as a family you went through. And I love that we were able to capture that authentically, and we get to show everybody that because it's beautiful. That's what makes it beautiful. It's that fight through it all,
So Kevin, I've heard it said that you are wanting to do movies that are a rush of hope. Talk about that and about how we need more films like this one being produced.
This film that you're about to see embodies what my company is Kingdom Story Company. We have done a lot of films in the last few years. American Underdog being one of them. Our last film was the best Christmas pageant ever. Everybody saw that one.
More people saw that than American Underdog. I'm noting this. Hold on.
And so our hope is that you guys are entertained and inspired, and that the movie just gives you this rush of hope, that you have conversations that happen because of the film, and you leave the theater a better person than when you came into it.
Amen.
That's our hope tonight. I know it's going to happen because this movie is out.
I have a movie to recommend with Jacob LaBelle that I've watched, and it's originally an Amazon movie, but I own it on disc.
Okay, gotta watch Unbreakable Boy first.
Osman, ask
Can I say
again.
real fast though?
No, hold on. You can say that.
So, we've seen autism portrayed in television and other movies, sometimes well and sometimes not so well. Tell us about the nervousness about portraying it as well as it did come across, but how were you anxious about that, nervous about portraying autism and all that it is?
I knew that all the powers that be were sensitive to how it happened. And only now, after seeing like the trailer and everything go live and seeing people talk about it, just the trailer, without even reading the book, it's obviously an extremely sensitive and somewhat touchy thing because it's so personal and so many that live it. So I would just say to those people, read the book and see the film, because what John Gunn did and the folks at Lionsgate and Kingdom was they had the character of Austin and how he was put together. It was just meticulous, and it was just, I call it a velvet glove approach that John Gunn did. I think you'll see it. It was magical. And I think people have to remember that I wrote a memoir. It's my story, my experience, and I think John nailed it.
I'm ready for the physical copy.
Final question, and before we get to the final question, and then we get to see this wonderful, wonderful movie, we just want to thank everyone that did buy a book tonight and make a donation to Nerd HQ. Zach, I don't know if you want to, either one of you want to say anything about Nerd HQ?
Yes, thank you for everybody. Please go buy this man's book. It's a fantastic book, and also it is benefiting Nerd HQ, which is my 501c3 that is all about mental health. We provide mental health services and information. We literally, the goal is to raise as much money as we possibly can so we can pay for people's therapy who can't afford it. And more people can't afford therapy, and we deserve it. We all deserve to have a healthy mind and a healthy heart. It will change the world if we do that. So thank you for all that support. Really appreciate it.
Marcus Theaters, I'm proud to share with everyone, $2.50 of every ticket is going to Nerd HQ on your behalf, as well as all the books were purchased by Marcus, so that every dollar of donation went back to Nerd HQ. And then the final question, and then they're wanting us to wrap it up. What message in the Unbreakable Boy do you want people to leave with tonight? And if each of you could give it.
Where am I talking now?
I would, you want like a one-word answer, or just self-introspection. They walk out of here thinking about their own life, maybe just in some small way they can connect our story to it. It helps them maybe see something a little differently, and enables them to change in some small way, or big.
I would say that what I found a lot in this movie, particularly in portraying you, is it's a story about radically accepting who you are and where you are in your life. And when you can radically accept where you are because God has you there, He really does, and then you can radically surrender to that, and then there can be so much radical love and peace and wonder that can come from that. So that's what I hope everybody takes from it. What do you hope everybody takes from the movie? What do you want everybody to feel?
What do you mean?
Like when everybody leaves, what do you hope they're
Why do
feeling?
you sound like Bob Barker?
Because I wish I had a Bob Barker mic, that long one. Do I ever sound Bob Barker?
Exactly, maybe.
What's the next thing up for bid? This is scary at this point. No, but what do you hope everybody feels when they leave the theater?
I'm hoping that they always help their families and never give up. And like, you talked about mental health awareness, right?
We did, yeah.
So like, if you're going through stuff like that, mental health awareness and stuff like, I was in a mental ward when I was younger, I don't know if we'll talk about that, but I went through some struggles with that, and I struggled every day with my autism, and I just say like, everyone, never give up on getting yourself help and always having your family help you. Like when I met the Power Ranger back in 2022, and something happened to him, and it alright.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay. That's a great answer. That's a great answer with a lot of wisdom. Let's hear for Austin.
So many great takeaways from this film that you're each and all gonna have your own takeaway. For me, resilience, the message of family, love. But one of the most beautiful messages, this guy, he has a real power of being present and in the moment. It's kind of like he's forced to be in the moment all the time, and I love that. You know, the takeaway of like seeing gratitude in the moment, even in the smallest things. And if I had a fraction of that, that would be, such a wonderful like superpower to have that this guy carries with him.
I wanted to mention the movie. I wanted to go see the movie that Jacob Lavel's in. Jacob. It's called 8-Bit Christmas, and it's with Neil Patrick Harris. And the one thing I like about it is it takes place during the 80s, right? I think, or something like 90s or 80s. But it's about like a Nintendo, like something Nintendo that they have to try to buy. They try to steal it or something. And Neil Patrick Harris plays the older version, and Jacob's like the.
But they gotta go see that movie after they see this.
Yeah,
But the beauty of this guy is he's plugging someone else's movie. Give him all his movies here because that's his love.
And I've only seen a couple of Pierce movies: Twilight,
My hope-
On Fire,
my hope
On Fire,
is
and one other, all the Twilight movies.
that this film tonight will inspire you to wake up tomorrow and every day afterwards and realize that that day has the potential to be the best day ever.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the movie. We're gonna have a quick raffle. Enjoy the movie. You're gonna love it, I promise.
And
Is the raffle right now?
Last thing before the raffle, this movie opens everywhere February 21st, everywhere. I mean, you're gonna love it, we already know that. Come back, bring your neighbors, bring your coworkers, bring your family while it's in theaters, and that's another way you can support all these great organizations that we're talking about
Amen.
tonight.
Austin, you wanna pick the raffle ticket?
I guess so.
I'll hold the mic.
Oh, it's even in the Star Wars book. That's
Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Drum roll. Let's pick. Whichever one. Use this for us.
Where's
This will be for an autograph poster signed by the cast.
Seat H. Where's row H? Oh,
Got it.
Seat H 18.
I won.
18.
got that
H
one?
18.
Who got that one?
Who's 18?
They don't even know.
All right.
Who got it?
This is lady in the picture.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Let's give the lady her prize.
Can you see a picture of me?
We're gonna let these guys watch the movie, right?
Yeah.
Enjoy the movie, everybody.